Hey, it's Steve again. Welcome back. We're going to talk about jigs today. And specifically, we're going to talk about micro jigs. Now, I'm going to give you my definition of a micro jig. Might not be your definition, but this is mine. It's a jig that's very compact and weighs, say, 3/16 of an ounce or less. But generally, I'm talking about either an 1/8 or a 1/16 ounce jig. Now, a lot of people are immediately going to say to themselves, well, I don't even want to watch this because I only fish for big fish. Well, that's great. But like they say, elephants do eat peanuts. And I've caught some really nice fish on micro jigs. Now, there's a time and a place for them. Number one, cold water. Especially really cold water in the spring. The second time is when fish are very pressured. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're talking about a jig with a rubber skirt, really fine rubber, silicone skirt, or an actual hair jig. They all have a time and a place. I'm going to give you what I consider the best uses for these little jigs. Now, one of the first things you're going to find out is most of the time, instead of fishing it like a typical jig, which would be what I would do like 80% of the time, I swim it. Now, it makes no difference what the jig skirt is, whether it's silicone, hair, or rubber, okay? Most of the time, I'm throwing it out and I'm going to wind it extremely slow. So the jig is either, let's say, just touching or gliding on the bottom or bouncing on the bottom. Very rare, unless I'm fishing a micro swim jig, which we will touch on, do I reel it higher in a water column. Now, the other time that I'm not swimming it, I'll be fishing around a dock or a deadfall or something like that, and I'll be using a micro jig like a standard jig. So, tackle. No heavier than 10-pound mono. Unless I've got some crazy hair up my rear end and I'm going to go and I'm going to pitch a micro jig on 15-pound braid in super dirty water because I think the forage is super small, which I've done a couple of times, but not really often. So what do you look for in a micro jig? Well, number one, if you're going to fish it on 10-pound line at the heaviest, you're looking for a light wire hook, okay? I go to set the hook on this thing with 15-pound line, I'm probably straightening it out, okay? So, light wire hook. Number two, they're available with or without weed guards, okay? A lot of people fish a hair jig, especially up north, for smallmouth, and they're just using a typical open hook ball head. This one has a weed guard though. Why? Well, because a lot of guys have forgotten that a hair jig can be devastatingly effective on largemouth in cold water. So, let's move over to where we're going to fish that little jig as a swim jig. Now, this one with the Y weed guard, okay, it's got 2 pieces of wire. This is an old Terminator. They've been discontinued for a long time, and I'm just about out of them. But they hook fish fantastically, which means you can still fish this around some cover, which is a really good thing. Next time you're thinking about jig fishing, think about having a little teeny tiny trailer and tossing out a micro jig. You might be really surprised at what you catch. Till next time, I'm Steve.